Hey everybody, here we are with a short video about printing your assignment 2. Now I know the assignment was due at 5 p.m. yesterday, but that's fine. I'd rather you get this down before we move forward. So I know we went over some printing earlier in the semester, but I want to kind of reiterate how I would like you to print assignment 2. Now, if you already turned it in and received a grade, don't worry about it. Just give this a watch at least, and then you can use it as we move on as needed. So what you're seeing on the screen here is sort of a assignment to how it might look. Obviously, I have some geometry missing in the middle here, but that's fine. But I have something to suggest a drawing at least. I also have the two outer rectangles that define the those two no print layers that I asked you to make, an 8.5 by 11, excuse me, and a 7.5 inch by 9, and they're positioned in relation to each other correctly. Here's my different line weights, line types. My whole drawing would live in this inner rectangle, and then there's the text for my name down below. Okay, so I purposely made this an 8.5 by 11 so we could print this exactly to a letter size sheet on Adobe PDF or to an actual printer. So this is 8.5 by 11. That should match up exactly to the sheet size to plot. So how do we set all that up? Okay, so let's go into the plot command to quickly go over that. Should mention before I'm going to go into plot, I actually already opened Adobe Acrobat. So in my humble opinion, if you're working off of a school computer, open Adobe Acrobat if you're going to print before you go into the print command. That way your username and whatnot is logged into Adobe. Adobe's working so that when AutoCAD tries to talk to Adobe, it can. Now, let's say you're working from home and you have you have AutoCAD, but you do not have Adobe Acrobat. Here's a technique that you could do. Get all your work done on AutoCAD. So I've finished my whole drawing. I'm all set. I'm ready to go to print. Save this file to your OneDrive. Then go to virtual desktop, log onto a computer, access this file, and open Adobe Acrobat and then print it. And then you can leave the virtual environment. So you might just want to use that as a sort of printer, and you can work on your own personal CAD on your computer at home, which I think is a good technique because then it'll work fairly quickly because it's working right off your computer. You're not working through the internet. If anyone has any questions about how to run through that exactly, we can do a virtual call and when I can talk you through it. Okay, so if I wanted to print right now, I'm going to go up to the A and just click on print. Okay, I'm going to change my plotter to Adobe PDF. My paper size is already set to letter. For what to plot, okay, there's a couple options in here. You have display, extents, limits, window. I'll just explain a couple of these. Display is exactly what I see on the screen right now. So in this case, it would print my drawing, but it would print all of this space around it as well, which would just be white space. So it'd be a pretty tiny drawing. Extents would be the extent of the whole drawing. So if I chose this and I had other things on this file, like a drawing that's way over to the left in space or way over to the right in space, it would print everything. So they would be really tiny because they're split apart so much. The last one I want to just describe here is window. And that's the one we're going to use. I'm going to click on window and it goes away right away because right now CAD has asked me, make a window of what you want to print. So I want to print this 8.5 by 11 exactly. Okay, I want to center that on the plot. And I don't want to fit to paper. I want it to be 1:1. That's saying, do you want to scale your drawing up or down on the paper? And I'm saying, don't do anything. Just do it 1:1 because I already know this is 8.5 by 11 exactly. Okay. Now, the last thing I'm going to check off here is the portrait. So I want that to be a portrait size because the orientation of my drawing is portrait, not landscape. All right, I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to ask me to save this. So I'm going to go ahead and save this under ARC Software 1, Week 5. And I'll call this Kevin Kinney Assignment Version 1. That's typically how I do it. Hit save. It makes the PDF. And here is the PDF. Let me just do Control-0 to zoom out more so you can see it. Remember, my outer line is right on the edge of the sheet of paper, and it's also on the no print layer, so it's not going to print. The inner line is on a no print layer as well, so it's not going to print. So all I see is my beautiful drawing with the different line weights and line types and my name below. If you want to resubmit your assignment, go ahead. It's good to just get the practice in. Otherwise, if you haven't printed yet and you haven't turned it in, please use this technique to print. Okay. See you soon with more content this week. Okay, bye.